Every day, 138 ships carrying crude oil, liquefied natural gas, the fuel that runs factories in Osaka and hospitals in Shanghai and power stations in Mumbai, moving silently through a strip of water. You have never thought about this strip of water. You have never needed to, until now. This is the Strait of Hormuz. 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. Between the mountains of Iran on one side and the flat coast of Oman on the other. Through that gap, in normal times, passes roughly 1/5 of all the oil and liquefied natural gas that moves by sea on this planet. Iran sits on one of them. Its allies sit on the other. And for 40 years, every military planner, every energy economist, every naval strategist who has looked seriously at this region has arrived at the same conclusion. Whoever holds these two straits holds a knife to the throat of the global economy. The question is not whether this was known, it was known. The question is why in February 2026, the most powerful military on Earth launched a war in this region as if it wasn't. The year is 1984. Iraq and Iran are in the 4th year of a grinding land war that will eventually kill over 1 million people. Both sides have started attacking each other's oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, trying to strangle the other's ability to pay for the war. It is the first time in the modern era that the world's oil supply becomes a battlefield. The world watches, alarmed. Insurance rates for oil tanker shipping go through the roof. By 1987, Kuwait was desperate. Its tankers were being hit by Iranian missiles. It turned to Washington for help. Ronald Reagan agreed to reflag 11 Kuwaiti tankers as American vessels, putting them under the protection of the U.S. Navy. It became Operation Earnest Will, the largest naval convoy operation since the Second World War, American warships escorting supertankers through the very same strait that is closed today. Iran never fully closed the strait during the tanker war. It mined it threatened ships, it launched missiles, but it kept its own oil flowing because it needed the money too. The USS Samuel B. Roberts struck an Iranian mine in April 1988. The explosion broke her keel and punched a 15-foot hole in her hull. The crew called their damage control effort a miracle. They saved the ship. Here is what every military strategist who lived through that period understood. The Hormuz Strait can be weaponized with almost nothing. A handful of mines, a small boat, a missile launcher on a hilltop. You do not need a navy, you need geography. And Iran has always had geography. Look at the Iranian coastline. The Zagros mountain range comes down almost to the water's edge. The terrain is rugged, broken, deeply shadowed. A missile battery positioned here is invisible from the sea until the moment it fires. The shipping lane runs within 3 to 4 miles of that coast. A shore-launched missile traveling at subsonic speed gives the crew of a tanker roughly 90 seconds of warning. At supersonic speed, less than 30. Since February 28, 20 commercial vessels have been attacked in or near the strait. One of them was the Mayuri Nari, a Thai-flagged bulk carrier attempting passage on March 11th. It was struck by 2 projectiles. 3 of the 23 crew members are still missing. They are believed to have been trapped in the engine room when the ship was hit. The ship's owners described the surviving crew as, and this is their phrase, traumatized at sea. Before the war, 138 ships passed through this strait every single day. Today, the number is 5 or 6, a 95% collapse. The mines Iran appears to have laid are complicating even that trickle. Ships that dare the passage are hugging the Iranian coastline, inside Iranian territorial waters, sailing at speeds and on routes dictated by the IRGC. The strait is not just closed, it is controlled. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched simultaneous airstrikes across Iran. Nuclear facilities, military command, leadership targets. Supreme Leader Khomeini was killed in the first wave. 40 years after Operation Earnest Will, America was back in the Gulf. This time, it came not to escort tankers, it came to end the regime that threatened them.
Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
In the first days, he was right about the military part. Air supremacy achieved within hours. Over 7,000 strikes in the first 2 weeks. Supreme Leader Khomeini dead. The regime's conventional air defenses destroyed, but the regime did not fall. The population did not rise, and the Hormuz Strait did not open. CNN reported, citing classified briefings, that the Trump administration had not planned for a Hormuz closure, because officials assumed it would hurt Iran more than the United States. Trump's first-term Defense Secretary, James Mattis, had a warning he repeated constantly. A warning born of hard military experience, directed at exactly this kind of overconfident thinking.
Once hostilities begin, Mattis would say, the enemy gets a vote. Iran voted.
Taram, you are fired. You are familiar with this sentence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The central headquarters of Khatam al-Anbiya.
The Hormuz Strait is still closed. Here is the geopolitical fact that makes this war uniquely painful for the world. The United States started it, and only 7% of American crude imports pass through the strait. The countries whose economies are genuinely, existentially dependent on that water are nearly all in Asia, and almost none of them were asked. China takes the largest share, nearly 38% of everything that passes through, and yet Chinese tankers have been moving. Iran exports 90% of its crude to China at steep discounts. The Hormuz Strait has not surprised anyone who was paying attention. For 40 years, from the tanker war to today, every serious assessment of what a conflict with Iran would cost has arrived at the same answer. The Strait is the one card that air supremacy cannot cancel. You can destroy a regime's air force, its navy, its nuclear program, its leadership. The mountains will still be there. The shipping lane will still run 3 miles from the coast. The mines will still be on the seabed. The enemy got a vote. It always does. The only question is whether you planned for it.